So we're going to talk about the locations of the countries that we had written a few papers on. So I'm zoomed in, and after I explain the country location, I'll zoom out so you can get an idea of where they are. So here we are looking at the British Isles, and that includes the outlying islands as well. So we have the Republic of Ireland, we have Northern Ireland, which is a separate country, we have Scotland, we have England, and we have Wales. Depending on which countries are combined, we get different designations. So like I said, all the countries here are called the British Isles, but if you include Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales, you have the United Kingdom. If you just talk about Scotland, England, and Wales, that would be Britain. So Northern Ireland is not considered Britain, but they are a part of the British Isles. And Ireland is not a part of the United Kingdom, and that's a very important distinction. It is considered insulting to call someone from the Republic of Ireland a member of the UK. So let's zoom out and see where we are. Yes. So many of your guesses included the Scandinavian countries up here, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Some of them even included Russia, which is this giant landmass here. And then the Ukraine was a popular choice, along with Romania and even some ones up here, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. We also had some guesses involving Spain and France, and a few that guessed Germany. So now you can get a good look at where everything is. So this would be considered Western Europe right here. This would be Northern Europe. This would be the Balkans, or Southern Central Europe. This would be Eastern Europe in here. And Croatia and Slovenia are often called, Central, Southern Europe. And then Turkey is an interesting case because it kind of straddles the two continents. So it has a very European culture here and a more Middle Eastern feel there. So it kind of has a foot in each culture. So there we have that. Now if we look at Africa, some of you selected the entire continent of Africa as South Africa. Some of you even selected the Middle East as part of Africa. So this is the Middle East, and this is the African continent, including Madagascar. And then some of you selected the southern part of Africa. But this would be Southern Africa and not South Africa. I'm sure that you've seen by now that there is a country called South Africa, which is what we did our reading on. And it's kind of unique because there are two countries that are contained within the country of South Africa. So these are totally separate nations. So that's pretty unique, having a country within another country. The area that the orphanage was somewhere up in here, and they had moved from Johannesburg. So there we have South Africa. So for those of you who are satisfied with the answers now, you can stop the video. Now I am going to talk about my travels in France. So total change of topic, but I didn't want to make a new video. So I just wanted to talk about my geographical experiences. So I spent 4 years just outside of Bordeaux. And I will try to zoom in and show you my university. So those are all the places that I took my husband when I visited. So there is my university that I attended to get my bachelor's degree. Université Bordeaux-Montaigne. So let's zoom in. And let's see if we can see some pictures. So every morning I would drive half an hour to college. And I would park right here. So let's see if we can grab our little guy. So not a lot of color. So I would have a lecture in that hall right there. And then this was the English department. And then way at the other end, there was another very large lecture hall. And that was the main area. Then you have some student housing. Those were sports fields. So it's not that glamorous. This is student housing. There's the site of classrooms. So pretty austere. But it was about $400 a year, so I am not complaining. Then the tramway ran between the two university sites, and it went into downtown. So there are actually several different universities in Bordeaux. So you can see a few of them. So I'll show you the little town that I was from. Well, from where I lived, where I commuted from. If I can find, oh, there we go. I forgot where it was. It was actually right by the airport. So I lived in Martignes. It was actually so you can't see it, but let's see if we can see a shot of downtown. It was a pretty small town. It was really nice because on some of the streets they would line the median with lavender, and it would fill the air with a wonderful fragrance. So I lived there for 4 years, and then I moved up by Paris. I was still in the country. It was right by Euro Disney. Well, first I lived in Bouleur for a year, and it was amazing because my apartment was right across the street from a 15th century church. Now I'm trying to find... And the name of the street was... Street of the Church, literally. And I'm trying to find it. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so that is the... Ah! I thought I found it. Well, let's go take a look on the ground. Okay, I can see the church. Let's walk up the street. So this is the mayor's building. And there it is. And those were the apartments that I lived in. That was my apartment right there. I had my petunias out on the balcony. So very small, very narrow roads. So I lived there for a year, and from the balcony you could actually see the hot air balloons launching from Euro Disney. Because there's the town, and there's Euro Disney. Disneyland Paris. So after Buller, I moved to Bussy, which is right here, Bussy Saint-Georges. And we had a yearly pass for Disneyland, so we could go as much as we wanted to. Then there's the shopping center that I would go to. I would actually take the tram, it was a train actually, into Ceres, and then go to the Auchan shopping center. Okay. Golden Tulip. Okay, so this is the RER station. This is the train, the big train that goes into downtown Paris and all around the Parisian region. And I lived within walking distance from there, so that's what I took to the university every day. So this is a big square, and at Christmas time they would have their Christmas bazaar there, so it was very nice. So I would walk out here, cut across the square, go around here, and then my apartment was right here. Kind of dropped me off further down the block. Yep, so that was the door to get in. And we lived on the other side, so So Bussy is a brand new town, and so all of the apartment buildings are brand new. So that's why things look like this. This is not traditional French architecture. I'll show you the downtown area. Yeah, so from here, I just lived right around that corner. These two gigantic statues. And there was a sushi place in back. And then right down the street, there was the library, down there to the left. And there was the big square. So yeah, all the buildings kind of look the same. Oh, it's going to show you the... Let's see if we move over here. They had a lake. There we go. They had a very impressive church. Very cool architecture. So that was a new church. And most French churches are quite old. So that one was unique. And I'll also show you the shopping center. Yeah. There we go. So this is all new. They kind of constructed it to make it look kind of old. So you have a new part of town. Oh, look, it's Givenchy, my favorite perfume. And they also had one of the first Starbucks right here. So France has a love-hate relationship with Starbucks, but I suppose we do too. They have an Apple store. So this area used to be nothing but fields until Disney bought it. So the last thing I'll show you is my favorite area of France. So just a general overview. So this is the north part. You've got some beautiful seaside towns all along the north coast, but it's kind of got that quaint, cottage type feel. They say people in the north, take a while to warm up to you. That's true for any northern culture, at least that's the perception. It is wine country in this area. And then down here, it's much warmer. It's on the Mediterranean. Here you've got, Monaco. You've got the city of Grasse, which is famous for its perfumes. And Marseille, the very bustling port town. And I'm mostly unfamiliar with this area here too, but I know they're famous for their apples and apple cider. And then the middle of the country is kind of known for being, a little backwards, a little primitive. So one of the regions is called La Creuse, which literally means the hole. So my favorite part of France is called the Périgord, and it's here. And it is famous for truffles and duck and foie gras. So here you have Rocamadour, which is beautiful. It's on the cliff face. And there's even a legend that goes along with that, including a sword stuck in the cliff face. So that's something to look up. And it also has the, I think it's the Church of the Black Virgin, La Vierge Noire. So a very, very interesting city to visit. And then I'll also show you Le Gouffre de Padillac. Let's see. Because it is breathtaking. I'm not sure that there should be good photographs. Yeah, so you can go down in an elevator and then you can take an underground kayak ride through an underground river. And I'm surprised they don't have photos of that, but you could definitely look that up. And there are all sorts of stalagmites and stalactites and crystal formations, and that's very cool. Yeah, kind of like a video game almost. So my favorite city, oh, did you see that? La Pemp. I don't know, that cracks me up. There's a lot of funny names in France. I'm trying to find Sarlat. There it is, Sarlat. This is my favorite city. It's pretty stereotypical medieval fairy tale land. So this is a monument for those who, the martyrs who died in World War II from this area. I just love when the vines grow like that on buildings. Let's see if we can go into downtown. So you can see everything is very tightly arranged. So there's another monument. And this is where I stayed in Sarlat last summer, La Coulevrine. And Sarlat is very famous for its market. So let's see. Well, apparently you can't get views of the market, but oh yeah, people were using this as a wishing well. What is that? I've never seen that. Oh, okay, it's just a... Hollyhocks are very common in the region. Okay, so you kind of get a view of the market, a little part of it at least. So, very good place to get dried sausage. So, if you're able to travel, I highly recommend it.